Hey guys, Andy and Spoken Table, my friend. And I'm going to make a complete pig's ear of this. I know I am already. Leshai, I'm not even sure to ask you how you pronounce your surname here, so this is really unprofessional.
Lesedi
Leshai,
Letsoalo.
go on, enlighten me, right?
Lesedi
Yeah,
Letsoalo. Yeah.
okay, that's fine. Okay, Lesedi. Brilliant. Thank you for the correction there. I should have asked you that before.
No, it's
Apologies.
okay.
Right, okay, Lesedi. Now, what we're going to do here, everybody, is before we start on the reading here, there is a clarification here because I confused Lesedi on the first part. Now, a first book, yeah, tell people where people can get hold of this split book first of all, then, okay?
Okay, so you mean my grief booked,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, no, no, not your grief book. Your book you did of eight other writers. The one
Oh,
you
okay.
did, yeah, that book. How can people get hold of that book first, then, if they're interested?
Okay, that one you can get a hold of it through Samco Books. So the first details that I gave then were correct. So Samco Books or through my email that Andy is gonna upload together with this. And then my second one, which is my solo one, my grief booked, you can get from Amazon. So you can get that directly from Amazon. It ships everywhere.
Great, that's fine. We need to just to clarify that then, everybody. 'Cause
Cool.
it was my fault that time. I apologise. I
It's
confused
okay.
Lesedi before we started. So, okay, on to the poetry now.
Sure.
Lesedi's going to read out for us two pieces of each extract of the book. So,
Okay.
take it away, my friend.
Sure. So I'll now be reading two pieces from Denial. Okay, it goes. My pen dances in both grief and gratitude for the love and loss it began and ended with. With one half of myself, I'm moving forward, and with the other, I'm still pushing you in a wheelchair, reassuring myself more than you that you're going to be okay. Next piece. The first time I came home after your death, I really did look for you. And after searching and not finding your precious face, I said to myself, I'll find her the next time. That was the beginning of a deeply anchored madness, a madness that kept me safe and sane. So that was from Denial, and we'll now be moving to Bargaining.
Take it away.
Sure. It is the prospect of loss that scarred me the most. The unshakable feeling that in this very moment death is a possibility. The helpless feeling you get when you see them wasting away to nothing. The anguish of hoping for a miracle. The fear driven decision to finally seek medical help. The desperation of a silent prayer by the hospital room door. The not so strong oblivion to what's most likely to happen. It's how I felt when I fed you and thought to myself, this may be the last time. It's the sadness of looking into each other's eyes and digging for some sort of strength in the waiting area. The constant mumbles of reassurance that it's going to be fine, even when you kind of know it's not. It's the hope for a divine intervention that will never come. The attempt to push the tears back in because they are not dead yet, the guilt that comes with the thought of what could have been done better or earlier, the inability to accept what your intuition tells you. It's the premature grief that you hold in as you watch death take its time because it feeds off the torture. This, this is what I can myself a badge of victory for supposedly surviving. I'm
Wow.
going on to the next one. It's still in bargaining. My familiarity with writing is one of the many things that I thought had died with you. Now that it has resurfaced, I'm baffled as to what I should do. Whether I should smile or let the tears fall, for it could suggest one of two things. Either it never ended, it never died, or I am healing. The latter unsettles my soul because healing means I'm being whole again. What if the parts of me that don't know you outweigh my ability to preserve your memory? I'm the museum that bears evidence of your existence. What will forgetting make of me then? So that was the second piece from bargaining. I'll now
That's
be
excellent stuff. Really, really good, powerful stuff. That. Right, let's move
sure.
on. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so I'm conscious of you. I want to don't want to interrupt your train of thought. Take it away with section 3.
Yeah. So this is anger. After you died, both God and I saw sides of me that must have made him clear his throat 3 times, if not 4. I know this because that was the first time I ever doubted that he doesn't like his hands idle after all. If he didn't, then why doesn't he use them to rescue his children even when they kneel and shed blood through their eyes before him? Sometimes I consider hearing him out instead of constantly blaming him for not hearing the most sincere prayer I'd ever made in my life. Maybe this is my one chance to turn the right cheek, but how am I expected to do that with such a fractured neck? I'm angry because I took you to the hospital to get help, but you died. I'm angry that I told you your breathing sounded abnormal and you denied it. I'm angry that you lied and said you weren't in any pain. I'm angry that I made you hold on for so long because I was adamant that it wasn't your time. I'm so angry that I didn't get a chance to say goodbye. I'm angry that I put the oxygen mask back on you when you wanted to speak for the last time. I am angry that I genuinely thought you were going to come back home later that day. I'm angry that I thank God that you weren't taken to the ICU that morning. I'm angry they took so long to attend to you that day. I'm angry that they were trained professionals, but I feel I could have done better than them. I'm angry that we couldn't save you. I'm angry that I couldn't save you. I'm angry that God's plan was against ours and I trusted him. I'm angry that God took you back. I'm angry that it caught me so off guard. I'm sorry, I just didn't want you to die, especially not like that. Yeah,
Beautiful, beautiful, nice. I think you're right with the anger one there because it's you emphasise the anger so much and it does it. It shows you your naked vulnerability almost what that it does now. Beautiful
yeah,
stuff. Beautiful stuff.
thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
let's move on. Okay.
Sure, so now we're going to depression. Um, there are days when my grief engulfs me so much that I cannot do anything besides miss you. It never requires me to lift a finger. It assumes the shape of a blanket, wraps itself around me, gives me tiredness, the kind that numbs your limbs, then looks at me and asks me why I haven't gotten out of bed yet. So that's one. Death knows not how to ask for permission. He swings the door open almost like he knows no one will open the door for him if he were to knock first and announce who he is, because he will always be an unwanted guest. He comes in, fishes for his next victim, and claims them as such. Grief is the more well mannered of the two. She knocks but doesn't have to. She finds you desperate for a companion, a name for this whirlpool of confusion. She gently sits next to you and prides herself in being able to be of eternal assistance. If I should ever try to contextualize your last breath from my standpoint, I'd say it felt like someone drew all my blood out, sucked my veins dry, and eventually my heart stopped beating too. But somehow I stayed alive. I'm hollow. So that's the two from
Wow.
depression.
Yeah, you can see the change in tone on that one. And again, very, very powerful stuff indeed. So you've made a good choice basically, having doing it in sections like this. I think it highlights each part of it beautifully. So okay, moving on.
Um, so we'll now go into acceptance. Um, Let me just find it. Okay. At least now I'm certain that I'll never feel that pain again. The worst that could have ever happened has happened. It's a form of freedom. So that's one. And I know if love was as powerful as they say, if love could breathe life back into a still heart, if love could turn into blood and run through veins, if love was loud enough to reach the master's ears, if love had your eyes and smile and felt the same way you did, you'd still be here, my love. If love was greater than his will, I'd still have you right here with me. I love you. You taught me that. I wish it were enough to alter fate.
Heartbreaking.
Let me just,
Heartbreaking. Indeed, but beautiful.
yeah. So I'm just gonna go into another one for acceptance.
Please do.
This is how I scream, silently on paper. My ink is a more socially acceptable version of my sadness. I hope it's loud enough. So that's So I'll now be going into gratitude. I remember quite vividly my hand resting on your shoulder and myself saying, "Don't worry, all is well," despite the stream of tears flowing down my cheeks uncontrollably. You nodded in response and said, "Jesus is present," twice, although you knew you were leaving. The desperation in both our voices to stay strong for each other, even in the face of death. This is a memory that's both the sword that rips my heart open and the thread that stitches it to wholeness. It bears all the evidence there is that our love surpassed all rationality, that our love was so courageous it had the ability to believe in what didn't exist. As great a writer as I am, I couldn't have written such a great love to life. It could only be God. I had it and I lost it. What a way to bury me alive, but it matters that I once had it. And the next one. You could have been anyone's grandmother, but God designed our lineage for thousands of generations so perfectly to ensure that you and I meet. The beauty in this narrative is beyond words. Let me just do a last one.
Take it away. Yeah, seriously. Great, mate.
More than anything, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my irreparable heart. And that's it from my grief book.
Really, it's not great stuff. You caught me out with the shortness of the last piece, then, but
Yeah,
that's me for
yeah.
you. No,
Some
brilliant
of them
stuff.
are extremely short, but yeah, I mostly put the short ones at the end.
I think you do. I think it's a good move that because it's you said so much in the first part of the book. I think it's best if you do it a little bit shorter to go along. No, no, great stuff. Thank you today for this lesson. Been brilliant. I've really, really enjoyed this. Okay, keep in
Thank you.
touch. When you've got another book ready, let me know. Okay, no complaints
Will
my
do.
side. I would love to have you on again in the future. Okay, so
Will
hang
do.
around because I do need to talk to you off mic anyway before we wrap up. Okay. But thank you again for today, Les. This has been brilliant.
Before we conclude, let me just say, or have we? So before we conclude, under things that I'm working on, I do have a podcast that I am going to be doing probably late this year or early next year that I'm going to be starting with. It's titled Bereaved but Gods, and it talks about the complexities of grief, but also how that all that can coexist with grace. So yeah, just wanted to point that out.
Great. Good luck that as well then, okay? More more projects the better, is my opinion.
Sure.
So yeah, good luck, mate.
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
folks, that's it for Spoken Label today. We're gonna go. I want to thank you, Luciana, again for today. It's been a pleasure. Really, really enjoyed this. And I
Yeah.
have been looking forward to this podcast as well. So,
Same here.
okay, guys, as Don Callis over at AEW Wrestling says, stay safe, stay over, and we will see you all next time.